Hi everyone, welcome to a Stackfist Q&A. So we're joined by Gavin Poole from here East, and we're joined by my Brindley-Sadler from SUL. So thank you both of us for coming. I have a few questions for both of you, and then we'll kind of do a Q&A together. So the first question I think is, obviously I know what here East and SUL are, obviously because I'm a student here, but for people who don't know, what is here East?
So here East is a 1 million square foot campus on the Olympic Park. In its former life, it was the home for all the TV studios and all the media pack who reported the Olympics to the world in 2012 for London. So everything you see on your screens at the moment as the Olympics is being played out over in Japan would have been broadcast from a facility like this. We then redeveloped it into a state-of-the-art technology and creative campus where we bring in large enterprise scale global businesses, startups, innovative businesses, universities, with the key purpose is to innovate, is to collaborate, and to drive forward new sectors.
And talking about universities, what is SUL?
So Staffordshire University was scoping out other satellite campuses in the UK back in 2018 and wanted a campus or an institute, which we eventually launched, that had a focus on digital and technological innovation. And once having visited the Here East campus, it was a logical synergy. And so we opened our doors in 2019, focus on games, esports, computer sciences, and the next generation of sort of technology and digital 4.0. So we're developing new courses at the moment for next year, and this is a fantastic festival for us to be able to showcase what we do.
Yeah, and what would you say, Gavin, that makes here East grow?
It's the people who base themselves here. So we're very selective about who comes. So we curate the mix of our customers and the businesses and the universities who come here. And what we look for is those who are looking for business transformation, those who are willing participants in what I spoke about at the beginning about collaboration, and actively want to participate in all that the campus can bring, both internal within our network and external across our wider network. And that just provides growth. I mean, time and time again, what we hear, whether it's from an education provider or whether it's from the larger businesses based with us, is we probably underestimated the scale of opportunity that coming to a place like here East has afforded us. So that's what makes the growth.
Yeah, no, honestly, as a student at SUL, honestly, being situated here and meeting all the different people and networking has been an amazing opportunity. And leading on to that, Matt, what would you say to a future potential student coming in, should they come to SUL?
Because we haven't built a university, we've built a collaboration zone. We don't sit in rows and a tutor at the front talk at students. It is collaboration between tutors and students working towards something. And we wanted to build a campus that reflects more the industry environments that students will end up working in, the production warehouse kind of feel, or very much sort of digital and sort of next generation cybersecurity spaces, because we wanted students to experience that throughout their studies so that when they go into the world of work, they recognise the environments that they're working in because they've learned their craft in those similar environments.
Yeah, no, honestly, doing the master's here has prepared me very well, and it's been a fantastic opportunity personally of learning about how the industry works from an academic point of view, but also I think from an industry point of view, which I think is the most important bit. And yeah, honestly, it's been fantastic. I can't complain. And yeah, leading on from that, what exactly is here East involved in Stackfist?
So we want to be a founding partner. Clearly the pandemic put all of that back a year. When we've been looking at the future sector growth in different sectors as we look at the opportunities for here East, we've been tracking esports since about 2014-15. And then when we thought it was getting more mature and was gaining traction in the UK, we saw it growing globally, we started to say, okay, what components do we need? We've got games companies, we've got broadcasters. Okay, let's go after organisations that would help develop the talent pipeline, help develop the explosion of teams being built within London, but also with the content creation capability these buildings have, broadcast TV to the world. What about those who are creating esports content? What about mini arenas? And that's kind of what we've been working towards. Then when SUL came to speak to us about their vision, what they were doing, as a complete natural fit. Of course, that all links with the wider aspirations of Olympic Park. If you look at the growth of esports sectors globally, how those sectors are growing next to sporting assets, be it football stadiums, rugby stadiums, cricket stadiums around the world. We've got a collection of sporting assets, with the stadium, with the velodrome, and the Copper Box Arena. And the Copper Box Arena, literally a 2-minute walk from your front door where you're studying, is already a go-to destination for major competitive gaming events, whether it be for Activision, whether it be for EA, whether it be for whoever. They are using that already, and that proximity means that activations flow into Here East, so we've already capitalised on that. So it's not just about Here East, it's also about the wider Olympic Park. So it was really important for us to celebrate all of that by becoming a founding partner, with Matt and the team, with Stackfist.
Yeah, and obviously I know that the university is growing, you mentioned it before. What exactly is this you're growing into?
Bigger, bolder, better, I think, is our not official tagline. Nothing sits in isolation. So when we think about technology, we think about entertainment, we think about competitive gaming, or, we think about how these evolutions are happening. And as Gavin was mentioning, it's not just physical space, it's about talent pipelines. So industry's got a thirst for developing talent. There is a digital skills shortage. We know that that's up and coming as we've seen students progress through their education journey, that there is a gap that needs to be filled sort of coming up behind the current cohorts. So we want to provide learning opportunities that link with what industry is going to need in the future. Some of these jobs don't exist yet. When we launched cloud computing as a university nearly 10 years ago, who would have thought there was a job out there called a cloud cleaner? No, we have to kind of plan for the unpredicted. And so if we are flexible in the type of courses that we have crossover, interdisciplinarity as we call it. So one set of skills can be used for a different industry. So we're launching an artificial intelligence course that has applications into retail, logistics, healthcare systems, but also into games development. AI is a huge thing that is being very much pushed by the industry, and that's going to have a knock-on effect. The evolution of esports will be a-sports, which is where athletes will compete with virtual headsets in a virtual world, but you will watch the athletes physically do the activities. It's kind of the reverse, it's the flip of the coin. So that's what we're about looking at those future opportunities and harnessing them so that we can provide those learning journeys for students.
So obviously Here East is becoming kind of the staple on this hub of esports and gaming, and not only in the UK, but also more globally in Europe. So what do you guys think is basically the trends that are going to be appearing in esports and gaming within the next 5 years?
I think that the Holy Grail, and Matt's already mentioned about the VR, but since 2014 we've been tracking VR. And it's always been, yes, VR is great, oh, it makes you sick and nauseous, oh, it's great, oh, we've struggled with application, it's about training and construction and visualization. I think we're now moving into a fully immersive experience for competitive gaming, not just for the players, but also for the audience. So, gone are the days possibly of X thousand people going to an arena, and actually you can actually put a headset on and you can actually be there, but you might just be a small group of you, 10 or 15 headsets, or it could be you're doing it from your own home. So I do think the audience participation, but also player participation through the use of headsets is something that everybody's been searching for, and I think we're close.
We're close, yeah. It will be fun, I think, when we have our headset on, we're kind of moving around, we're seeing everything virtual. That blurring of the real and the virtual, I think, is going to be a very interesting thing in the near future. But yeah, what games? If you guys have played any games in the past, what games was it, and what's your favorite?
So I'm more of a 1980s retro game, and then I've got kids. So at the moment, I'm not into where you'd have the true gaming and the teams. So our household favourite at the moment is Mario Kart.
Staple.
And my 12-year-old is mega. So no one can beat it at the moment.
It's a fantastic game, yeah. What about you, Matt?
Okay, so my dad came back from Japan in 1981 and bought me a little handheld game that said Nintendo on it and had a little badge underneath that said Game Boy, and it was one of the first. And that was my introduction to games. Am I a huge gaming fan? Well, it's crossed my life at different points, and I think that's the important thing, that games are not focused on an age group. My mum is addicted to Word Feud. She plays mobile gaming. And so do her friends, and she's in her 70s. I think the important thing is about accessibility for everybody. So yes, I kind of like games that sort of are part of my life. They're not the core central of my life, because I recognise that actually entertainment is a little bit more expansive. Gavin was talking about sort of next generation and what's going to change. Unreal, one of the big games engines, is now being used by film production companies to harness a much easier way to produce CGI footage. So we're seeing lots of crossover. We're seeing some of these industries merging, and I think that that's what's going to happen with games. Games are going to become less a thing on their own and more part of wider entertainment. And I like to be entertained.
I think a lot of people misinterpret what it means about gaming. So anybody who's got a mobile phone has probably got something on there, that, on the tube, on the train, whiling away time. We have little household games among us with kids in different rooms as we're trying to play. But also I've got the World Surfing League app on, so I can play surfing when I'm going home on the tube bit. So all of these things are gaming, just as it helps you while away some time. Yeah,
I think the amount of platforms where you can game and things that the application that games things have outside of that, I think when you mentioned this thing like entertainment, the gaming and entertainment complex coming together. Personally, that's something that I've studied as well, because I'm writing my dissertation looking at that overlap, and I'm looking at it from a military perspective, and I think a lot of the technology that we use in video games now is also being used in military applications and the vice versa, right? So we're seeing together this kind of coming together of like technology, not only just in entertainment, but also like the industrial complex, and it's this coming together that I think is going to be the future of the trends. But for example, Holland Alexander, we have the eagle, which is our animal. I know it's a completely different topic, but I was just interested in what would be your animal of choice, Gavin?
Well, if it's looking about logos, it probably wouldn't, because I've got a military background. I'm an aeronautical engineer and a love of space, so it would probably be more space focused or animal focused. So a bit like the new Space Commander stars on a rocket or something.
Maybe not sure. What about you, Matt?
I've been thinking about this.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, for me, it's people. So a sort of more an avatar based. And sort of think, because it's about teams, whether it's behind the scenes or in front of, as the sort of the players, so to speak. So it's something anchored around people.
Yeah, very good questions, both of you. And where can we find you guys? In social media?
On social media, just Gavin J. Poole. For my own personal stuff, whether it's Instagram or Twitter, it's the same. Or at Here East, where the team fill everything up. And again, that's across all multiple channels.
Where were you, Matt?
Yeah, similarly, my professional channel is obviously linked to Staffordshire University London, so please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. And I'm linked into each of those, so you can find me easily through that.
Cool. And thanks everyone for watching. Please check out Stackfist website, buy tickets, and please come to the event 9th to 11th of September. We'll hope to see you there, and we'll see both of you there soon.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.